Good morning, and welcome to Winnipeg. Now, before I forget, tonight we're going to be all setting our clocks back. Now, when I say all, I mean all of us here in Winnipeg. We're going to be turning our clocks back 1 hour. We go off of daylight savings time and back onto standard time. And so that means that those of you who like to watch this series as soon as it gets going, and there's probably a couple of hundred people, I guess, you're going to notice that your episode is going to start an hour later, and you're going to think old Ron is late. Well, unless you happen to change your clocks tonight as well. Okay, so now we got the time change talked about. Now speaking of time, I'm noticing here that my atomic clock, I think that's what they call them, it didn't set itself. It looks like maybe it hasn't set itself for a couple of days. No, my watch did, so it's dead on. I have another clock that sets itself automatically. It did, but for some reason this one didn't, and it's about 2 seconds out. That'll never do. Okay. Now, there's been a little bit of talk in the comments about the aircraft, and what aircraft did the Iowa have? Well, this is the plastic parts. We'll look at them closely after. That came with my Iowa kit. And as near as I can tell by looking at these parts, they look a lot to me like the Kingfisher. Now, when I was originally talking about the aircraft about 2-3 episodes ago, I didn't realize that it was strictly for reconnaissance. It didn't have to carry bombs or machine guns or anything like that. It just was a case of the people went up and they looked around and oh, hey, there's the Yamato, quick, let's get back to the ship and tell the boss. Okay, yeah, it was that sort of plane. Anyway, we will. Interestingly, when I did a little bit of research on this aircraft, the Kingfisher, turns out it had the exact same engine as an aircraft that my dad used to fly way back in the 50s. And from what I read, it had what was known as a Wasp Junior engine. I think it was Pratt and Whitney or something, Wasp Junior, and it was a 450 horsepower engine. They made them literally by the thousands here in North America, thousands of them. And a lot of aircraft used them, including the Kingfisher, apparently. And the aircraft that my dad flew, and I remember flying in it when I was a little kid. I was about 5 years old, I guess. And I can still remember the sound of that thing. I used to plug my ears when Dad would start it because it was so noisy. You know, little kids, they don't like noise. Anyway, I guess I was a normal little kid because I used to plug my ears when Dad would start that motor. And it was a Stinson Reliant, and it had this Wasp Junior engine in it. For those of you who are aircraft savvy. Yeah, I never flew anything like that. The only thing I've had familiar with was the smaller aircraft. I got my pilot's license in a Cessna 150. Yeah, just a little 100 horsepower airplane, but it did the trick. Anyway, okay, let's move on here, and we'll recompose. So I remembered to tell you about the time change. Now let's recompose and take a look at these parts here and see what we're going to end up with. Now, clear plastic is really difficult to try and photograph or video. You got to try and get your light to refract through it so that the detail comes out. Perhaps later I'll put the macro lens on and we'll move in on, well, maybe the fuselage part of it here. And the only reason I can conclude that they use clear plastic for molding the aircraft is so that the canopy will be clear if you paint everything else except the canopy. Yeah, then you don't need to mess around with microcrystal clear and stuff like that, which actually doesn't do too bad. Like, if I remember right, Tony used the microcrystal clear on the canopy on the Bismarck's aircraft. Was it the 196? Which was, I believe, a much more heavy-duty aircraft than this. But we don't need to go into those details. Just let me put the macro lens on, and we'll take a close look at the canopy here, or the fuselage here, and we'll be able to see the detail that they've tried to do for the canopy. It's not too bad. Yeah, it's not too bad. Okay, I'm guessing about 2 hours has passed here since I shot that first scene, or the scene that you just saw before this one, that is. And my phone had rung, and it turns out it was my brother calling me. So we did our video chat thing, and that was kind of fun. And during that time, we did have a nice sunrise. Nothing spectacular, just nice. If I think of it, I'll attach it at the end of today's episode. Anyway, here's our close-up shot here. You can see that there is some detailing. I'm watching the monitor right now, so I'm seeing what you're seeing. And yeah, you can see some detailing on the side there. And I can see where if this is painted somehow, and I mask off, you know, if I mask off the canopy, like you can see on the back there, there's a lot of canopy. I imagine that there was the pilot in the front, and then there might have been a couple of observers, I'm guessing, in the back. Yeah. You know, I don't know how many observers you could have stuck in that thing. 450 horsepower, that should haul about 6 people, but I don't think it was a 6-place plane. Yeah. Okay. All right, we've seen it. Maybe I'll try and adjust it here, and I don't know if we're going to be able to see anything good here. Maybe I'm in too close, possibly. But anyway, that's the detail. That's the underside of the fuselage. Okay, let's move on. Okay. Now, here's what's happened. You know, over the last few years, especially recently since I've started this model ship series, but I think even when I was downstairs in my workshop, I was kidding around a lot about Murphy's Law. And so when I say this, I'm still sort of kidding around, because I'm not superstitious at all anymore. I don't believe there's anything to Murphy's Law. I believe in coincidences. However, here's what's happened. So let me get this out of here. There we go. Very, very carefully, because these are extremely fragile. I should have maybe used Tony's wax pencil here. Now, anyway, about 48 hours ago, when I was installing the telephones, maybe I guess it's 72 hours ago now, I was up the ladder trying to run one of the lines and drive a nail in the wall up in the corner where I needed it, and the phone rang just when I got up the ladder. Okay, well, that's fine. So I went in, when the phone rang, I thought Murphy's Law. Okay, now earlier this morning, I was just about ready to press record to do the close-up of the aircraft, and the phone rings. There's my brother, and I thought Murphy's Law. Just when I was going to push record, I actually had my finger on the record button. Okay, now, I'm guessing half an hour ago, I went into the bathroom, and I just got in there, and the phone rang. Well, I guess that's why the phone is in there, so I could answer it. Anyway, I answered, and I thought Murphy's Law. I had to wait till I got in the bathroom. And anyway, it turns out it was some people that I knew really well, and they had an old 100-year-old or so clock that they wanted me to look at. Now here's the thing. Probably 30 years ago, or even 10 or 20 years ago, I'd have jumped at it. In fact, I probably would have gone and picked it up because I used to like to fix clocks. I had this old clock that wasn't working, so and I wouldn't say I was really good at it. Like I didn't replace bushings or anything like that. I basically cleaned them and straightened something that was bent, and generally that's all it took to get these old clocks going. But I turned them down, and these are nice people that I've known for several years, and I just hated to turn them down. But I just don't feel like doing that sort of thing anymore. Yeah, I'm feeling kind of bad right now. Now, what I'm going to try to do is as much of this on camera as I can. That wasn't very good. So what I'm going to try to do here is I'm going to try and do as much of this now on camera as I can. And yeah, I think we were probably positioned pretty good. Now, when I did the other catapult just the other day, when I went and bent it to go around the back here, I bent it so that it was just a little bit too wide. So what I want to do this time is I want to bend it so that it's going to be just a little bit narrower, because what was happening was the rail was sort of falling off the one side here, and anyway, all right. So just let me get the manual here superimposed so that you can see what it is we're trying to do here, and I'll get this out of the way. Well, maybe not. We're going to want to go, okay, so this panel, and this panel, are they the ones that go around the back? Yeah, they're the ones that go around the back. So we want to bend right here, and we want to bend right here. And this time I want to bend a little bit closer to the, a little bit trembly again today. Okay, now this is kind of how I did it before. I don't think it matters which way you bend. If I was to bend it this way or bend it this way, it's going to be the same. I don't think the posts are, you might say, on one side of the rails more than the others. So we're going to just go. I just want to just see here. Maybe I should. Let me check my monitor. Oh, you can't see that. You're way back. Just let me zoom in just a little bit here. Get this out of the way so it's not bad background, and yeah, I'm going to recompose here. Okay, let's try it there. Now I know that Andy's bending tool would give me a sharper bend. Now, whereabouts did we bend in relation to that post? I believe we're a little bit on the inside of it. That might have been a little bit, gonna make it too small now. Now where's the, okay, it's gonna have to come around. No, maybe not. You'll notice how the back is kind of not square. So these two panels, or three panels, they do have to sort of go at a bit of an angle. But I think we're probably going to be better this time. So here we go. We're going to get myself in here, check the monitor, make sure you're still in the field of view. This is something that is extremely hard to do with the macro lens, so I'm not even going to try. Maybe I'm better off coming at it like this. Okay, hold it right there. And now we're going to bend this way. All right, now let's try it now. Now being careful how I grab this thing. Yeah, I can see that this is going to go better. All right, now we're going to have to fasten this thing down onto something. Maybe I'll put it on the rotator and stick it down on some double-sided tape. That seemed to work pretty good for the last one, and then we'll be able to use the holder downer to hold this in place. Yeah, I think this is going to be okay. But if I go like this with it, yeah, you can see that it's going to be slightly smaller. Before it was flopping over the edges, so. Okay, I think I can rotate this all the way around now, and the area in question is going to stay in the field of view for the camera. This, okay, I've got a little problem going on here that I did not have with the other one, and that is that this pipe that we put on the side here is holding it out. Now the first one I nipped it off and shortened it, and this one I did not do that. Now the reason I did the other one is because it didn't want to fit. But this is a problem that I did not foresee. Now there is something I can do here, I guess. I could probably cut this, whoops. I could probably cut the railing off at this post right here and just have it a little shorter. But that's not the way it's supposed to go. So I am wondering now if I should maybe try and shorten, nip this off. Shorten it about 1 millimeter and shove it in. The problem is it's going to want to spring back out. Oh my, I wasn't expecting that. Okay, good news, and I'm sure some of you are yelling at your monitors, Ron, you've got this thing the wrong way around. I was wondering how come it worked so good on the other one, but it wasn't working on this. It's supposed to go like this. Now, how come I didn't notice that? Am I getting too old for this? There, that works a lot better. A lot better. Okay, now let's, you know what, I better just give the back here just a little bit of a jog out, if you know what I mean. Okay, I have just cleaned off my applicator here, and sometimes it doesn't want to work too good when I first start to use it. Oh, it worked. I saw it get under that post. Okay, I'm just going to do one more. I don't want to move anything. Oh, I'm moving the rotator, aren't I? Okay, let's let that cure. And I don't think I can. I'd like to get a little bit more under the rail. Yeah, there we go. I think that's working. Okay, let's let that cure. Okay, I'm guessing 6 or 7 minutes has passed here, and I did put some curing agent right there. Let's just see if we can carefully lift this off. Now, if we turn this around, the plan will be to hold this end down. And I think it's tight down against the deck. Looks pretty good. I'm kind of moving it there, aren't I? Usually I'm steadier than this. I must be holding this awkwardly. Let me get another grip at it here. Well, that's not much better. But I'm pretty sure we got it. Now, a snifter of curing agent. Alright, now let's center up the back here. I can see in the monitor I'm going to have to recompose just a little bit. I have to back the camera up. Okay, I had to tape the turntable down because when I start pulling at things it was going to start to turn on me, so now am I going to be able to bend this without breaking it off? It's kind of like trying to straighten the frame on a car in the auto body shop. Now cars don't have frames anymore. Okay, so I'll say a truck. I wonder if I was to just... No, I think I was better off the way I was. Let me check the monitor. It doesn't have to come very much more. This will probably be the one that breaks it off. That's not too bad. Let's get the holder downer on here now if we can. Put a little pressure down. I think it's down about as down as it's going to get. You know, I could have maybe eased it over just a little bit more here. I think my applicator needs cleaning off. Looks kind of... Well, now can I get some in from the other side without knocking everything off? Okay, the other side's not down. If I could get the holder down or more over onto the other side and push down. Maybe I should be using the gap filler stuff. That's not bad. Okay, now let's put a little bit of quick setting on there. Okay, I think that it's going to be strong enough now that I can more or less handle it. And then, like I said, I'll build it up with CA medium along the sides there. Okay, we had originally glued our railings down using the Bob Smith Industries CA extra thin, I guess you call it, or Instacure he calls it. And then I went around again with medium, which is pretty much like thick now. It's sort of drying out, you might say. And that railing is fastened down very, very well. It's not going to be coming off. I think that once that medium cures, in all likelihood, the railing would break before or bend before it would snap off. So, yeah. Okay, let's move on. I think we have to put a little piece right here. Okay, do I need to poke at it? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's pretty good here. You know, I keep leaving my other glasses off. Give me a moment here. Guess I shouldn't be eating at the table, right? All right. Oh yeah, it's coming off. See if we get some on the other side here. All right, now just a smell of Instacure here. Come on. There it is. Okay, I think, excuse me, I think once again I'm going to just off camera put some CA medium on there. Just build it up on the bottom. When it's painted, you'll never see the CA glue at all. And the bottom rail will almost be hidden because the CA glue is going to sort of come up over it. At least that's the plan. Okay, now the medium, I readily admit, it got away on me there a little bit. You can see it sort of pooled itself onto the deck in behind the rail. But I think once it's painted over with flat paint, we're not going to notice that. I hope. That's the plan. Okay, this time I've got my right glasses on. Whoops. And I've got the other end of the holder downer sitting on the base of the camera. So I've got to be careful not to move the camera. Maybe just a little. Whoa, I bumped the holder downer. Well, that was lucky, nothing happened. It's not going. What's it catching on here? Whoops. Oh my goodness, Ron! Okay, let's do it like this. Let's get this in place. You know, I do believe the railing's got a little bit of a bend in it. I'm just going to see if I can straighten it out here. I'm just eyeballing it, so I'll try it again here. Now, sorry I'm getting my finger in your way here, but I'm trying to keep it from falling off. Okay, there. Now, it's in the right place this way, but it's not in the right place the other way. Okay, let's try this. Let's put the holder downer on. Oh. Now I've got it hooked in behind them. Okay. Now if I could just drop the holder downer on it and then move the end out into place. Okay, the holder downer is on. Now if I put my finger here so it won't go too far. Ooh! Holder downer sliding on me. Okay, this end that I'm touching right now is just about right. So let's just adhere that in place. I shoved it in though, didn't I? There. Now I know that the railing is sort of leaning back a little bit, but we can always straighten that out. And you know the other end is pretty well right. Was too much, wasn't it? Well, this stuff does evaporate. Okay, we should be able to now pull the middle of the railing out towards us just a little bit with the holder downer. I'll just take it off here and move it into the center one and just pull back just a little bit. Now you know what, the Instaset is wicked this way all the way along right to the middle. I wonder if I should wait for that to evaporate a little bit. I'm just going to shut the camera off and wait a minute. Okay, I'm guessing about 5 minutes has passed here. I don't know how much adjusting I can do. Here, just pull that. I can pull it and hold it down like that. No, keeps wanting to go back. Maybe if I was to hold it down with my hand, because, well, that's not too bad actually. Now, the problem is I might be gluing the holder downer to the rail. Whoops. Pull, 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 pull. Yeah, it glued itself in the wrong place. Let's see if I can break that loose. No, it's just going to have to stay there. Well, nobody's going to... Oh, there, it came loose. It came loose. Let's just do it up here. There. There we go. Okay. Trying to get this in at the right angle so that it just the CA touches, not the applicator itself. I do believe I'm getting it. Probably getting the applicator right in your road, aren't I? I haven't checked the monitor for a while. Okay, I think I got it underneath there. Okay, I think we're at the place now where I can remove the catapult and just drop down some CA medium. And I'll try and put a little less on this time. Okay, we got the bottom rail glued down. And yeah, I was able to do most of it on camera, so that kind of worked out. All right, let's pull back and just look at the whole thing overall. I'm noticing that this last rail that we put on is sort of bent in a little bit. I'm going to wait until the medium is completely cured, and then I'm going to just bend it out just a little bit. That's going to be all right. I just finished editing out everything you've seen up till right now. And once again, I'm going to have to say I had no idea that I had record press so much. We are late. We are very late. Don't forget about the time change. Thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.